Welcome back to the Straight Within, everyone. Me, your host, Session Johnson, and of course, the latest news on Manchester United here for you first. But how are you guys doing? How has life been? I always like to know and engage with the Straight Within community and always know exactly where we are on a mental level and not just on a physical level. But continue to subscribe to the channel, please. Our goal is 1,000 subscribers, and of course, links to our various socials in the description below. But let's get into it without further ado. So, Erik Ten Hag wants to keep negotiations with targets secret and quiet, as it seen as really important for the nature of the club. So, hearing that he wants to keep certain targets private shows a sense of control. And by sense of control, I basically mean that he's able to not fall prey to perhaps a club lower than us, no disrespect to any of these clubs, that might try to, shall I say, rob us in a particular deal for any player for that matter. Because usually when Manchester United say they're interested in a player, that club would then take the value of that player and raise it 3 times higher than its actual value. And that normally leaves a problem for us where we tend to overpay because of desperation to fill a particular position or to get a big name in, as we have made previously in terms of mistakes, the likes of Alexis Sanchez, Angel Di Maria, Radamel Falcao, etc. Just to name a few players that came in big wages, big names, but didn't perform to the levels expected at Manchester United or the levels that they could perform previously before they came to play for Manchester United. I mean, it makes sense to keep everything, tight-lipped, because then we can privately negotiate and basically get the player for the value that he actually is and not for the value that the club thinks that he is. A prime example is someone like Declan Rice. West Ham are asking 150 million, but who's going to pay that amount? They've priced out every club possible. He hasn't even played in the Champions League, hasn't won anything with West Ham, has 1.5 good seasons with the club, and all of a sudden his price is 150 million. That's insane. So it's good to hear that we are trying to keep our negotiations and our targets a secret. Yes, we know Darwin Núñez is a target. We know Jurien Timber. And of course, as you see in the thumbnail, Frenkie De Jong as well. Number one target. As I said previously in the previous video, if you haven't seen that, go and watch it and definitely leave a like on the video, please. It definitely does help out the channel so much. Of course, as I said, they are our targets, but those that we don't know of are the ones that might be what Ten Hag is actually looking at. I said in another previous video, I remember I said that if Ten Hag wants to bring in players that are unknown to us as fans or to the club or even to the country of England, then definitely we will need to back him because he knows exactly what is required to have a successful team, a team with quality, and a team that will actually fight for each other and fight to win on the pitch and fight to win titles. So it's good to hear that Ten Hag wants to be a bit secretive. That is the way Fergie did it. It's the way many managers do it. And they only basically say when the player has already agreed or signed that that was the player that we were going after all along. So, as you also see, it says that we have a new deputy football director. And his name is Andy O'Boyle. And he was previously head of elite performance at the Premier League itself. And he previously used to work at Liverpool. However, he will be our new Deputy Director of Football and report directly to John Murtough, and of course will be working with Ten Hag in terms of the entire footballing operations at Manchester United. He is well experienced and of course has run programs for clubs as Liverpool and for the Premier League with regards to sports science, and is very well with regards to recruitment and will definitely be an asset to the new structure at Manchester United. And it's good to hear that we have appointed someone from the outside, even though he is, shall I say, perhaps still British in a sense, and it may look like a underwhelming appointment, but we now know that it comes down from the Glazers in terms of positioning. It's the Glazers, and then of course Richard Arnold as the CEO. He works alongside the board. Then John Murtough as the director of football, and then of course John O'Boyle, Andy O'Boyle, who is the deputy director, and then Darren Fletcher, who also will work alongside the technical director of football and the deputy director of football. And of course, Ten Hag with along Mitchell van der Gaag and Steve McLaren, both working with him with the first team. And this is what he had to say since he was appointed. I am thrilled to be rejoining Manchester United at such an exciting time for the club, as the first team prepares for a fresh start under Erik Ten Hag, and the academy and women's teams go from strength to strength. So, not much to be said about him, just that he is the new deputy director of football at Manchester United, Andy O'Boyle, and he will be overseeing all football operations alongside John Murter at Manchester United. Now, on to why I basically in the thumbnail said Frenkie De Jong agrees. Now, players come out, they are interviewed, and they basically say straightforward things like, oh, it's always been my dream to play for Barcelona. It's always been, my mindset to stay at the club. I've spoken with Xavi. These are the things that Frenkie De Jong has said. He's spoken about the new season with Xavi. He hasn't been told about any offers or anything with regards to him leaving the club, and he's only focused on Barcelona. And these are just things, in my opinion, that means he's just buying time. It's well known that Manchester United and Barcelona are in talks for Frenkie De Jong. It's well known, as I said before, that Ten Hag is trying to convince Frenkie De Jong to come to Manchester United. But yesterday, Barcelona had a meeting with regards to their finances and how they're going to go about this summer for their transfer window. And journalists such as Juan Roberto and Gerard Romero in Spain came out and has said that Barcelona needs to sell Frenkie De Jong. In the exact words, it says, at the moment, all roads lead to the departure of Frenkie De Jong. Barcelona want between 80 to 90 million euros, which roughly probably roundabouts to about, shall I say, 60 to 75 million pounds. It's a decent fee, and it is something that we can do, but it is complicated. We're still looking to negotiate with, Frenkie De Jong and try and convince him. But we need to back Ten Hag in this. He wants Frenkie De Jong, so let him do his job. Let him try and convince a player that already played under him and excelled under him in his system, in his style of football. Yes, Frenkie De Jong might say he loves Barcelona and has always wanted to play for them and is willing to stay by them. It's not to say he's not attracted to Manchester United and Ten Hag's project. So, we wait and see. But we believe and hope that Ten Hag will be able to convince Frenkie De Jong. I want him at Manchester United, and I'm 100% sure that you want him at Manchester United too. It has also been said that Ten Hag has been very clear at highlighting the profile of players that he wants at Manchester United. He also wants to have a leaner squad next season, and a lot of emphasis will be placed on the need for leadership and character in potential recruits. That's what we need in the dressing room. We need character, we need leadership, and we need to sign players who can come into the dressing room and is able to handle the pressure of playing for Manchester United. We look back at our previous teams that were winning teams. We had leaders in the dressing room. Rooney, Ronaldo, Giggs, Scholes, Keane, Evra, Ferdinand, Van der Sar. That's just to name a few. There's so many others. You can go as far back as George Best, Eric Cantona. You can go all the way to Steve Bruce, etc. Manchester United always had teams full of leaders, full of strong characters, players with strong mentalities. That is how Manchester United was. And that is the way Manchester United needs to be again. And that is what Erik Ten Hag wants to bring back into the club, back into the dressing room, back that culture that we always have had at Manchester United. That winning mentality, that elite, hard-working, working for each other and for the club type of mentality. And it's good to see that he wants a leaner squad, because that would then accustom to us having better performances. Because with less players in the squad, more competition amongst the squad players. And that will mean everybody will be pushing themselves to try and be in the starting 11, and thus creating healthy competition in a team that will be fighting for titles and fighting to win. Not just in the small games, but in the big games as well. So Erik Ten Hag is working, and he's definitely doing the work that he needs to do to get players in that he wants at the club. Players that can lead, players that can command themselves on the pitch and, shall I say, have a presence on the pitch, and that can strike fear into opposition before even kicking a ball. Guys, simple. Let me know in the comments what you think about Frenkie De Jong and him potentially coming to Manchester United. And of course, about Andy O'Boyle, our new Deputy Director of Football. Guys, I thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching the video until the end. You are absolutely awesome and amazing. Let me know what else you would like me to speak about. Let me know any questions in the comments as well. You can ask me anything. I am quite an open guy. But subscribe to the channel for more Straight Within videos, and hit that notification bell so that you know exactly when I do upload videos. Have a wonderful day further, Red Devils. Till we speak again soon. Bye-bye.